Guys, what's going on? My name is Louis, and God bless to every single one of you. Today is March 16, 2026, and welcome to the Grand Supreme News Channel. Guys, we have an urgent information coming out. The U.S. President warns U.S. is ready to destroy Persia ground jewel within minutes. At the same time, 1 in 3 Americans believe we are now living in the end times. All right, so we're going to see what's going on with both of these breaking news, and it's all related to Bible prophecy. We are definitely witnessing end times. One thing I tell you guys, end time has been around for 2,000 years since the day Jesus came to this world. John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his one and only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. That was the start of the end times. And the next final stage will be the end of ages. All right, so we are definitely witnessing the end point of everything. And God knows, God is the only one that knows the day and hour when it comes to Jesus returning, when it comes to the end of the world, or when it comes to fulfilling Bible prophecy. God is the only one. But we are definitely witnessing end times. We are definitely witnessing biblical prophecy happening right in front of our faces. And it's very important that people start repenting spiritually, physically, and mentally. All right, guys, before I start, for those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. And for those of you that want to contribute to the channel, we do have the Cash App link and the PayPal link in the comments box and also description box. Once again, thank you so much for your support. Guys, remember one thing. Biblical wars has been going on since, again, thousands of years. And this is not something new. This has been going on for a very, very, very long time. Even in the time of Julius Caesar, a lot of people thought that was the end time. They thought that Julius Caesar was this Antichrist figure. In 1940-something, a lot of people thought that the guy in Germany, the one with the mustache, they thought he was the Antichrist and that the end of the world was going to happen in that time. And during J.F. Kennedy, a lot of people thought that was going to be the end times because of those Cuban crisis missiles and Russian nuclear stuff. Again, a lot of these things been going on for many, many years. But one thing I tell you, we've been in the end times for over 2,000 years. We haven't seen the end of ages. That's like the final stage. Donald said Sunday that the sleeping giant is locked and loaded to destroy Persia, King Karg Island, oil export hub, but has chosen not to do so. And speaking to reporters aboard Air Force One, Donald referenced previous U.S. strike on the island, which he described as the country's crown jewel, leaving only the section that handles oil pipeline intact. We can do that on 5 minutes. Notice, we have it all locked and loaded and ready to go if we want to do it, he said. We choose not to do it. So once again, Donald is putting out this bombshell message. Karg Island is a very important island that belongs to Iran. Donald gave the green light to the military and they dropped the hammer on that island. And so the only thing they didn't touch was the oil infrastructure. And Donald is letting Persia know that would be the next one. And I'm not afraid to push the button. Now, Persia responded back saying, if you touch that, there's going to be game on. So things are looking pretty tough nowadays. Now, once again, Donald said, I chose not to do it again. We'll see what happens. Now, Donald suggested the threat is intended to pressure Persia into talks, saying Tehran wants to negotiate badly, but is not yet ready to make the concessions the sleeping giant expects. I don't think they're ready to do what they have to do, but I think they will be at some point, he told reporters. Persia Foreign Minister Abbas, said in an interview with CBS News on Sunday, that his country has not asked for a cease plan or negotiations in the now 3-week conflict. So we are ready to defend ourselves as long as it takes, Abba explained. And this is what we have done so far. And we continue to do that until Donald comes to the point that this is an illegal biblical war with no victory. Wow. Locked and loaded. Donald warns the sleeping giant is ready to destroy Persia crown jewel within 5 minutes. 5 minutes. And pay attention to Donald's message, because he said he could obliterate that region in 5 minutes. He also mentioned that he could finish off Persia like in 1 hour, like obliterate it in 1 hour. He's putting all these time frame, and the Bible does speak about time frame. The mystery of Babylon, the great city, being gone 1 hour. Nothing left. There's nothing left. Everything is gone. There's no rebuilding it. It just is completely obliterated. And the only thing that is going to be remembered is, people walking in that great city, Babylon. What is like this great city? People are just going to have memories of it. So it says here, we're going to jump with this next one. 1 in 3 sleeping giant citizens believe we are now living in the end times. And I'm glad that people are waking up. This is a wake-up call. This is a wake-up call. It's like a great awakening. So we are definitely seeing that people are waking up. They're waking up. And I said this many times. When it's good days, when things are not happening, like all these wars and stuff like that, people don't think about God when it comes to good days. But when it comes to bad days, that's when people start, thinking about our Father in heaven. Just like what happened in 2020. Or just like what happened in 2001. When stuff like that happens, the first thing that comes to people's head is God. But when it comes to good days, when it comes to, everything's so peaceful, not too many people think about God. It says here between 29% and 39% of sleeping giant citizens believe they are currently living in the end times. That is not a fringe position held by a handful of doomsday cult. Now, it cuts across evangelical congregations, the I'm going to skip that name, activist circles, Silicon Valley boardrooms, and rural prepper communities alike. And according to a new study, it may be one of the most consequential and at least examined forces in how the public responds to the biggest warning facing the planet. Now, psychologists at the University of British Columbia and the University of California, Irvine, surveyed more than 1,400 religiously diverse Americans and found that the apocalyptic thinking is neither a fringe preoccupation nor a purely spiritual abstraction. It is a measurable psychological force and the specific flavor of someone's end-of-world belief predicts how they perceive and respond to threats like the climate, nuclear, economic collapse, and artificial intelligence with surprising consistency. Now, one thing I tell you guys, our time frame is different than others. All right, we have things We have technology. We have stuff. We could see what's going on in the other side of the world with a device, a phone device, and it's in the palm of our hands. We see everything. We absolutely see everything. Man, it just amazing that this is where we at. This is where we at. And it just, back in those times, then it had those stuff. I mean, back then it was radio. People turn on the radio and listen to what's going on in the world. And during the time of 1940 something with Germany, and then you had Japan, and then you had all those countries, and FDR was the commander. Again, people back then had radios, newspapers, and so by our time we have AI, mobile device. We have all these new war weapons like drones, and everything's just different. And we are moving fast with all these amazing technology that's growing really quick. So this is the reason why a lot of people are saying we are in the end times. Well, here's the thing: we've been in the end times for 2,000 something years, but we are moving fast when it comes to Bible prophecy. That I could tell you, we are definitely moving fast. Now they're talking about brain chips and all that. All right, so it says here the study led by psychologist Matthew and co-author by Sandel White, Azim, and Ara is among the first to build a formal framework around end-of-world beliefs as a psychological construct. Its finding complicates the familiar story. The risk behavior is primarily a matter of politics or religion. All right. So I just want to share that with you. 1 in 3 Americans believe we are now living in the end times. And here's the thing: don't let fear take over, because God did not give us a spirit of fear. All right. If you're having fear or anxiety, sometimes it's good to just put away the mobile device and just stay away from that. Stay away from anything that's causing that. All right. Pick up the Word of God. Pick up the Word of God and fill your mind with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. That's the Word of God. Okay, I want to. So we have a breaking news here, guys. So the U.S. oil prices fall below $95 a barrel. 95. So we are definitely seeing something here. Below $95. All right, so I'm looking for more updates here, guys. So I want to bring this up really quick. You have the Alliance, NATO's coming out. Germany to Donald. This is not NATO war. So Berlin says it will not help the sleeping giant secure the strait with military support. Ooh, I knew this was coming. And I went live yesterday, and I did mention that a lot of these countries are not going to be sending their stuff. Wow. So once again, Germany to Donald. This war has nothing to do with NATO. It's not NATO biblical war. You know what Donald's going to say? Crane, it's not mine. It's not my problem. And you guys are not buying no more equipments from me. You guys take care of that problem. We are out of here. I do believe that Donald might say something like that. Wow. Ooh, you got some more country. Look at this here. Breaking. Germany, Greece. Rule out military involvement in the Straits operations. I knew this was coming. The Red Dragon is also going to say, hey, this is not our problem. We're not going to be dragged into this. This is not ours. We're not going to be dragged into this. This is something that you and Holy Land got together and y'all went after Persia. So, again, this has nothing to do with us. You're not going to be dragging us into this, the Strait situation. So what are your thoughts on this one here, guys? Leave comments comment down below. Again, like I said, I knew this was coming. I mean, there's going to be some other countries that's going to be backing Donald, but there's going to be a lot of country that's going to say no. We're not going to get involved. This is something that we don't want to be part of. And the reason why, guys, the Strait is a really hot area. And just imagine some of those ships from other country getting hit by Persia drones or something. But anyway, this is all the information here. I would keep it updated when it comes to nation against nation and kingdom against kingdom. We are definitely witnessing some Bible prophecy when it comes to the Gospel of Luke, Matthew, John, Mark. We are definitely witnessing rumors of wars and many other world events that's related to Bible prophecy. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Check out the video I posted today. The links will be in the comments box. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you all. Put your faith and trust in Jesus Christ, for he's the only way, the truth, and the life. No one gets to the Father except through Jesus. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time later. Peace.